As the sun set on the Crusader kingdoms and the golden age of Saladin faded into memory, a new shadow stretched over Jerusalem. The shadow of an empire. It was 1517. The Ottoman Turks, under Sultan Selim I, had defeated the Mamluks and claimed vast territories, including Jerusalem. The city now became a jewel in the ever-expanding Ottoman Empire, which would rule it for the next 4 centuries. Unlike the violent transitions of the Crusades, the Ottomans brought something different: structure, restoration, and relative stability. Under Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, Jerusalem underwent a cultural and architectural renaissance. In the 1530s, Suleiman commissioned the rebuilding of the ancient city walls, the same walls that still stand today. He repaired and beautified the Dome of the Rock, renovated Al-Aqsa Mosque, and improved water systems and roads for pilgrims and residents alike. For once, Jerusalem breathed without war drums in the distance. The Ottomans treated Jerusalem with immense religious reverence. Christians, Muslims, and Jews were all allowed to worship, though always under the watchful eye of the empire. Ottoman records were meticulous, documenting land, people, and traditions with imperial precision. Taxes were collected, rights were defined, and religious status was strictly maintained. This was the era of millet system, where different religious communities were given autonomy in internal matters. Each group had its leaders, laws, and places of worship. As long as taxes were paid and loyalty held, peace was preserved. But peace was relative, for there were fewer battles within the city walls. Outside forces, empires rising and falling, Western ambitions growing, began to look at Jerusalem with hungry eyes again. European colonialism, driven by trade, religion, and power, was spreading fast. And the Holy City, sitting at the heart of the world's faiths, was never far from conflict. In the 1800s, European powers like Britain, France, and Russia began to compete for influence in the city. They built consulates, funded religious schools, and began to lay the groundwork for deeper involvement. Tensions started to rise not from within, but from the growing ambitions of external empires. The Ottoman grip, once strong and central, began to weaken. Bureaucracy grew corrupt. Rebellions broke out across the empire. The once great structure began to creak. By the late 19th century, Jerusalem had become not just a religious city but a political chessboard, one square in a global game between dying empires and rising powers. And in the 20th century, that game would explode into the open. The Ottomans, now known as the sick man of Europe, would face their biggest collapse in a war that would redraw Jerusalem's fate forever. This concludes Part 5 of the History of Jerusalem. To discover how World War I changes everything, subscribe now to Historical Story YT and be ready for the next gripping episode.